Hey everyone, I'm Keldon from Outfit, and today we're going to be talking about EA's Star Wars Battlefront. So I was lucky enough to get the chance to go to the Star Wars celebration, where they had a screening only for those who attended. I'm not sure if the video they showed has been leaked or not yet, but they were really strict about cameras and recording. They had multiple people watching us at all times, along with a security team outside the booth with cameras and the whole setup watching us. So I don't know. I don't think it'll be leaked, but someone might have gotten away with it. Now that said, they didn't really say we couldn't talk about what we saw or even try to recreate some of the scenes that we got to see. So I'm gonna do my best to explain what happened in the gameplay they showed us, and maybe do a few sketches of the UI. Try to help you out and show you what I'm talking about. Before I explain what happened, I'd like to address there's this list going around that compares Battlefront 2 and EA's Battlefront, and it kind of goes through the features of them, and it puts the new Battlefront in a really negative spotlight. And it's not completely accurate, but most people don't know that because it's all they're seeing. And so I'm going to address that later in the video. There are some things they confirmed in the video, and so I'll try to clear that up for you. One more thing before I get started, everything shown at the convention is very much subject to change between now and release. It's EA. They could pull a fast one on us. I don't think they will, but it could happen. So take this all with a grain of salt, I guess. The gameplay began in a really Call of Duty Battlefield campaign kind of way. You're a rebel, you're with a group of soldiers, and you're walking through the forest, trying to be quiet, hoping you're not going to get ambushed. And of course, you do. A lot of people have been wondering, will this game look even near as good as the trailers do? They have the little, text that says in-engine footage, but it's hard to believe that the trailers look fantastic. And from what we've seen, yeah, the game looks fantastic, as good as the trailers. Definitely. Anyway, the gameplay continues on just like the trailer. Speeder bikes come out, scout troopers are firing on you. You take them out, and all of a sudden, you're ambushed by a ton of stormtroopers. So you take on these stormtroopers, and it looks and feels just like a Battlefront game. The amount of memories it brought back from, years ago playing the old Battlefronts on the original Xbox was just amazing. It's hard to explain how warm and fuzzy I felt inside. But from your attacks with these stormtroopers, I can kind of confirm some things. So there's a hit marker, that's nice. And there also seems to be a bit of a point system. So you get points for headshots, for getting kills, for blowing up vehicles. And then all of a sudden, one of the two-legged ATSTs comes out and just starts attacking you. And, thankfully, one of your teammates flies over and blows the thing up. You're oh, hey, explosions, which was awesome. It was cool to see. The explosions in this game look incredible. And then right after that, you get a power-up, which is a rocket launcher, and you're oh, sweet, a rocket launcher. And then you turn around, and AT-AT's there attacking you. And you're okay, I'll just blow it up with a sweet rocket launcher I just got. But you forgot. The AT-AT's armor is too strong for a simple rocket launcher. So you run over to, the Star Wars phone booth and you call in an airstrike. And then some, Hoth airspeeders fly on in and blow that thing up. However, before you blow it up, EA did confirm, if you walk under an AT-AT, you're gonna get crushed. Which is amazing. I'm really glad they kept that feature in. It's a small thing, but it's nice to see. So then, kind of like the movie, you're on your way to the shield generator on Endor, which happens to be guarded by Darth Vader, who quickly just completely owns you. You don't even stand a chance, which is great, because how embarrassing would it be if a simple scout killed Darth Vader? Pretty embarrassing. Sadly, that was where the gameplay ended. They did re-show us the trailer in the little theater they set up, which was really cool, don't get me wrong, but I really would have liked to see some more gameplay. Maybe some TIE fighter driving or piloting or whatever, but something would have been nice. So now that we're done with that, I'm going to try to really quickly talk about the game's UI and kind of show you a little bit of what we saw. So, excuse my horrible drawing, but basically here we have, the ammo in the corner for all of your power-ups and your gun ammo and etc. I have the hitbox from third person in the center here. It's not that big. None of this is takes up this much room, but I'm trying to make it so it's easily visible. And lastly, we have the mini map in the left-hand corner. It might be in the top right actually, now that I think about it, but I'm pretty sure it's in the bottom left. Just to give you a vague idea of how the UI looks. Alright, with all that out of the way, I want to bring back up this list I showed at the start of the video. I'm not going to go exactly in order of what's on the list, but I'll try to confirm or bring light to things that are true and aren't true on the list. The first thing I'd like to talk about is that there's no campaign. Like, this list shows it, and it's true. EA and DICE have confirmed this. However, there is going to be a single player and co-op mode, which will probably be pretty similar kind of to Battlefront 2's campaign, where you just play through the maps and whatever side you're on, you kind of get their perspective of the battle and play out the map like a normal game. The next thing on the list is that there's no confirmed vehicles and that you can't get in AT-ATs. That's not true. You can get in them. They will be a bit on rails, but other vehicles you can totally get in. The AT-ST's totally controllable. The TIE Fighters seem to be completely controllable. The Millennium Falcon is a hero, kind of like, Darth Vader can be, but for air dogfights. And not to mention, you literally see speeder bikes 3 seconds into the trailer, so I'm not really sure where that whole no vehicles came from, but there's definitely a good amount. Another thing on the list is that there are 5 planned DLC packs. I haven't really heard about this. It could be all over the internet and I've totally missed it. But all I know about is the one. The Battle of Jakku happens right after the 6th movie. And it's actually the scene in the Star Wars 7 trailer with the Imperial Star Destroyer crashed and the X-Wing crash in the desert. That's the planet those ships are crashed on, and that's the planet where part of the movie's in. So that's the battle you fight in. And that DLC is actually free. So yeah, there will probably be more DLC. EA is pretty good about that, but hopefully, they handle it, really well, which would be nice. Now, kind of a letdown for those of us who really enjoyed them, but the list is correct. There are no space battles. EA and DICE have confirmed this. There will be air battles above you that you can participate in, kind of like dogfights between TIE Fighters and X-Wings and air speeders, etc. But there won't be, specifically in space battles, which is kind of sad, but, if they pull off the land battles well enough, it shouldn't be too big of a deal. I'll survive. The list also shows that there's only 8 maps and 4 planets. As of right now, that is true, but they haven't even released gameplay to the public, and E3 and Gamescom are still on the way, so I wouldn't get too bummed out just yet, but it is something to watch out for. Another thing is infantry types. Well, it is true there are only loadouts. If the loadouts are really, really customizable, it won't be an awful thing. I mean, you might be able to really just make loadouts for every infantry type there was in the old Battlefront games, so that won't be too big of a deal. Another thing is also, it says there's only 2 heroes. Yeah, we've only seen 2 heroes, but it's Boba Fett and Darth Vader. I doubt they're gonna leave heroes out of the Republic side, so you can probably expect at least Luke Skywalker and Han Solo, along with probably Chewbacca and a few other people. I wouldn't doubt a few other people, so don't get too upset about it. The last 2 things I want to address is that 1, the maximum of 20 players per team is true, and that really is a bummer. The more people the better in my opinion, but considering how incredible this game looks, I wouldn't be surprised if even with 20 people, consoles and, a lot of people's PCs may not be able to handle more than that. So we'll see, but maybe they'll come out with maps with more later as DLC, sadly. But the last thing is that, yeah, the new Battlefront is only during the classic era. However, the Battle of Jakku is taking place after the 6th movie, so you can kind of consider that part of the new era. And since we probably haven't seen all the maps, we might be seeing, episode 7 and beyond maps, and maybe we just haven't seen them yet because, LucasArts doesn't want to give out too much about the movie yet. I don't know. It's definitely something to look out for, though. So yeah, that's all I have for today. If you have any information that I missed in regards to the list, or even not regards to the list, Feel free to leave in the comments below anything I missed. I have an Overwatch video on my channel. We are mostly an Overwatch channel, so feel free to check that out. I have another one coming out pretty soon. I'm not really sure when we'll get more Battlefront information, so I won't say subscribe because we're not just a Battlefront channel, but there will be more content on the channel, so look forward to that if you want to. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.